Try to put yourself in Arthur's shoes. Let's change it up, all right? Say that, let's make this situational. You, how old were you, 9/11? When that happened?
First grade.
First grade?
So
So 7 or 8 probably? Okay, so you're 7 or 8 and your parents, you know, the big 9/11 attacks happened and your parents don't want you to know about it. So they turn off the TV. Somehow they manage to eliminate all the media from your life. Somehow, it's a little hypothetical, but okay. Somehow they manage to keep 9/11 from you, all right? And then we've been at war, technically, I guess, for the last about 10 years. We've had troops in the Middle East. But somehow, again, your parents have managed to filter your news, and so you kind of don't really know that all this is going on. Maybe you hear a little piece here or there, but you don't know the magnitude of it. And then you get to your first college class, and it's current world events, current world history. Oh, well, you know that thing that happened 9/11 just 10 years ago? Well, we're going to have a whole unit on this, and we're going to study this entire war. And you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Professor. How would you feel if your parents kept all of that from you? Upset. Very upset.
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed, wow.
Embarrassed that you live in this country and you don't know that we've been at war, you don't know that New York City has been attacked and bombed. You have some sort of reaction to that.
Some people still don't, or at least they've heard it and they don't want to believe it.
Can't they just
Okay,
go there?
That's a little different scenario than this,
Oh.
but that's kind of how Arthur's feeling. The natives and the
Copy.
whites, it's a huge problem in the country, and his parents never acknowledge it. They never tell him about it. So that's what this is about. He's upset that his parents don't tell him anything about what's going on in this country. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So that's that little
Good, everybody.
chunk. Alright. James gets mad about what he reads that his son writes, and he goes downstairs, and then he decides, well, I should just go back upstairs and finish reading this. So he goes up and down, he stops a couple of times to convince himself to read the rest of this piece that Arthur had written. Finally, he finishes it all, and something happens. As James leaves, he goes out the front door. Not because he's afraid of the blood stain. He had been going out a different way past Arthur's blood stain on the floor. But rather, he's accepted Arthur's death and possibly a new path in life. So in the book, Peyton writes, James, is not going that way anymore. He's not going that way anymore. So that phrase, that way, kind of symbolic here. What is that way, Mitch? Old ways. Yep. He's not going to continue to be ignorant and, ignore the problems. He's not going that way anymore. He's going to try to pay attention to the natives and what's going on. So this is kind of symbolic. The fact that he chooses a new path out of the house kind of represents his new path in life, right? You guys, I would say this is when James kind of like the light bulb goes on in his head. Aha, I get it. I finally understand our, I get